Welcome to TechieShare. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to implement queue using two stacks. We have already discussed about how to implement stack as well as queue in our previous video. If you aren't watched my video, please check it out the video first. So let's dive into the concept. In this implementation, we need two stacks called as NQ stack and DQ stack. Using NQ stack, we are going to insert the data into your queue. Suppose if you want to remove the data from the queue, so nothing but you are going to remove the first element of your NQ stack. In that case, what you have to do, you simply pop the data from the NQ stack and push into your DQ stack. In this operation, the least element will be the topmost element of your DQ stack. Now you simply remove the topmost element from your DQ stack using pop method. So the 10 will be removed from the DQ stack. Afterwards, you simply pop the element from DQ stack and push back into your NQ stack. So the 20 will be insert back to your NQ stack. Afterwards 30, 40 and so on. Okay, suppose if you want to remove the data from the queue again, so what you have to do, you simply pop the element from your NQ stack and push back into your DQ stack. So if you are performing like this, the 20 will be the topmost element of your DQ stack. Now we simply remove the element using pop method. Afterwards, you simply push back the data again to your NQ stack. Likewise, the operation will be performed. We dive into the implementation. For implementing queue by stack, we have to create two stacks which we have discussed before. One will be NQ stack for performing NQ operation in your queue. Another one will be DQ stack for performing DQ operation from your queue. So I am just declaring NQ stack as well as DQ stack. By default, I am assigning the value null. For creating queue, I have to create another one field called as capacity. So I have to denoting the capacity of my queue. As of now, the default value will be 5. Now I am going to initialize my NQ stack as well as DQ stack into my default constructor. So in this default constructor, what I am going to do, I am going to initialize my stack using my capacity. So the syntax will be this dot NQ stack new stack of my capacity, right, which we have discussed in the implementation of stack data structure, right. Suppose the user wants to create a customized queue capacity. So in that case, what you have to do, you have to create one parameterized constructor. In this parameterized constructor, you have to pass the value of your capacity, the customized value of capacity. So the first step, what you have to do, you have to assign that value in your capacity field. So I am simply assign the value to my capacity field. Afterwards, the same step which we have followed in default constructor. Now we have created NQ stack as well as DQ stack. The first method, I am going to insert the data into my queue. For performing insertion operation, you have to push the data to your NQ stack. So using NQ stack dot push method, I am simply add the data to my queue. Afterwards, I am simply denoting the user the data was inserted into the queue, like NQ'd into queue. So I am simply denoting the user the data was inserted into queue. Suppose there might be a situation, if your stack is full, then nothing but your queue also full, right? So in that case, you have to handle that situation. So I am simply adding one condition into my NQ method. NQ stack is full. Suppose if it is full, I am simply return the queue is full, can't insert the data further. So afterwards, I have to break the execution operation, so that I am just using return statement here. So here I am just adding one return statement. So when my stack is full, my queue also full. In that case, I am simply add the condition. If it is full means in that situation, the full value will be true. So that I am simply return the message queue is full, can't insert the data further. Afterwards, I am just break the execution of my NQ operation. Now I am going to check that functionality. So for that, I am just creating one object for my queue stack. So the queue stack Here I am just adding QS, nothing but Q for Q and S for stack, Q stack. So I am just creating object using new keyword. Afterwards I am going to enqueue the data into my queue. So using that enqueue data, I am simply pass the value 10, afterwards 20, so 30, 40, 50, like so on. Okay, so after inserting the value 50, my stack will be full. So in that case, I can't insert the data further into my queue, so that after, if I'm trying to add the data 50, it will throws the value queue is full, can't insert the data. Yeah, our enqueue functionality works fine. Now we are going to remove the element from your queue. For removing the element, the method signature will be public void dequeue. The dequeue logic will be, you have to pop all the element from your enqueue stack and insert into your dequeue stack. Now you simply remove the topmost element from your dequeue stack. Afterwards, you again insert back all the data from your dequeue stack into your enqueue stack. Likewise, the dequeue functionality works. Let we implement this logic in your dequeue method. For most implementation, the first step, you have to check the empty check of your queue. Once the enqueue stack is empty, obviously your queue also empty, right? So I'm simply add the condition enqueue stack is empty, then I'm simply return the print statement queue is empty, so there is no data in the queue, so I'm simply break the execution. Now the dequeue logic will be, the foremost I have to pop all the element from my enqueue stack. Until is empty, I have to take it out all the data from my enqueue stack. For that I am just using one while condition here. In this while condition, I am simply push the enqueue stack data into my dequeue stack. So for using peek method, I am simply get the top value from my enqueue stack and insert that value into my dequeue stack. Afterwards, I am just pop the element from my enqueue stack. This is the logic will be. So the first step, dequeue stack of push, which data will be pushed? The enqueue stack peek value. Afterwards, I am simply remove that data from my enqueue stack. Likewise, the data will works. Now the least element, nothing but the 10 will be the topmost element in my dequeue stack. Now using peek method of my dequeue stack, I am simply get the data of my dequeue stack topmost element. Afterwards, I am simply remove that element using pop method. That's it. Now I have removed that value. Now I have to return insert back to the particular data to my enqueue stack. So the same logic which I have done so before. So instead of using enqueue stack, I am simply change the value enqueue stack by dequeue stack by enqueue stack. That's it. So now those value will be insert back to my enqueue stack. See, so the 20 will be insert first to the enqueue stack, afterwards 30, afterwards 40, afterwards 50, so on. Likewise, the dequeue operation works. Now and finally I am simply return the information statement to the user, so the particular data dequeued from my queue. That's all about dequeue functionality. So let me check that implementation. The first dequeue will be return the value 10. Suppose if I am trying to dequeue the data again, now in that case the 50 will be insert to the dequeue statement, 40 and 30 and 20. Now the 20 element will be removed from my dequeue stack. Afterwards it will return back to the enqueue stack. Likewise, the dequeue operation will works. So if I am dequeue again, the 30 will be removed, 40 will be removed, 50 will be removed, 60 there is no data. After removing the 50, the queue is empty, right? So it simply return the value queue is empty. Yeah, exactly it works. We are going to implement front and rear method of your queue. So the rear method, nothing but it will return the lastly inserted data into your queue. For creating that rear method, the method signature will be public in followed with the method name. Here it's a rear method, right? So rear of, here there is no argument passed into the rear method. So the logic will be the topmost element of your enqueue stack. For getting topmost element of your enqueue stack, we can get the value using peek method. So using peek method, I am simply get the enqueue stack topmost element value. Now first I am simply done the empty check. Once it is empty, I am simply return the minimum value. If it is not so, I am simply return the topmost element value from my NQ stack using peek method. That's it. Let we check that implementation in our function. So in my main method, for verifying this functionality, as of now I'm simply removing the DQ verification. So in that case, the topmost element will be 50, right? So suppose if I am trying to get the real value, it should return the 50, right? So let me check. Real item is for accessing the method which we have created just before real, right? So real of, so it should return the value 50. Yeah, it works fine. So it simply return the last inserted data in our queue. Let we are going to implement another one method called as friend. So the friend method and DQ method more or less similar, but there will be only one slight changes. In our DQ method, after getting the topmost value, we simply remove the element from our DQ stack. But in friend method, there is no removal operation will be performed. This is the only difference between your DQ method as well as friend method. So let I am copy the content from my DQ method and paste it into my friend method. So the logic will be, initially I am just pop all the data from my NQ stack and push into my DQ stack. In that case, the front element will be the topmost element of my DQ stack. Using peek method, I can get that topmost element from my DQ stack. So once I get the value in DQ method, what I have to do? I am simply remove that element. Here I won't remove the element. Instead of that, I am simply push back all the data into my NQ stack. This is what the difference between your DQ method and friend method. So what I have to do? I am simply remove the pop method from this implementation. So first I am simply return the empty check. Once it is empty, I am simply return the value, minimum value of integer. So the next changes will be, here there is no pop operation won't be performed. So I am simply remove the value of DQ step of pop operation. Once I get the top value, afterwards I am simply push back all the data to my NQ stack. This is what the major difference between your pop method and friend method. That's it. Let we check that implementation. So the implementation will be, now the front item will be 10, right? So let me check. Suppose if I am calling the method front of, it should return the value 10. Let me check what happened. Yeah, it works fine. The front item will be 10. Now I am going to implement the full check as well as empty check. So now I am going to implement another two method called as is full and is empty. So the method signature which we have already discussed just so far in the previous video, public boolean is full. So is full nothing but once your NQ stack is full, then your queue also full. So here I am just simply return the value. If my NQ stack is full, I am simply return the value true. That's it. So I am using the is full method of my stack. I am simply return the value is full. Likewise, suppose if it is empty, nothing but my empty NQ stack is empty. Using is empty method of my stack, I am simply return the value for this method. So that's all about that method. Now I am going to implement another one method called as size of. I am just return the size of value of my queue. The size of nothing but it's simply same as my size of NQ stack. So I'm using size of method of my stack. I'm simply return the value NQ stack dot size of. That's it. Let we check the implementation. So I'm simply add the value from this main method. So here I'm just add the value. I'm going to check size of and is full and is empty method. The first sysout I'm simply return the size of my queue. So using size of method, I am simply return the value of my queue. That's it. Next, I am going to verify is full method. So what I have to do? I am simply return. Suppose my queue is full, then NQ stack is full method will return the value true. So using QS dot front of, I can get the value of boolean status of my queue size. So queue status, like queue status nothing but suppose my queue is full, then is full will return the value true. Likewise, when my queue is empty will return the value true. So I'm simply verify that condition here too. So is empty, that's it. So the size of the queue will be 5, yeah. So the size queue is full, exactly, and it shouldn't be empty, yeah, exactly, it works. Now I am simply dequeue the data from my queue. So in that case the size should be decreased by 1. So I am just requeue that only one element, yeah, the size will be 4, and queue also false, it will be not full. So for better understanding, I'm simply copy the statement from here and paste it before inserting the data. In that case, the queue will be empty and it won't be full. So let me check that functionality. Yeah, it works as we expected. That's all about queue by stack.